Yo, what is up, buddy gamers out there? The name's Second Heat. I'm bringing you guys my last thoughts on the E3 press conference. This time, I'm doing it on Nintendo's press conference. By the time I'm doing this, the the Nintendo press conference would have obviously already have ended, and I will have to say, um, this was actually very short. It was only like 45 minutes long. It was all just video related. There was no um real person coming on stage and giving their thoughts and giving um information on the games that they're revealing. Instead, it was all video wise. Basically, well, the reason for that was because all the people, all the interviewees, I think is what they call them, that were basically talking about the games are all Japanese. They're all from Japan and whichever other Oriental like country you wanna, talk about, say that they come from. So what they had to do was, as they were talking, they had to get an English translator to talk over them. So I guess that's somewhat understandable of why they did this. However, I would have also loved to see, um, like after the video thing is done, or like after each session of video is done about a gameplay or so, they then having one of the English people come in and give you guys a demo of some of the games or like whatever they're talking about. Sadly, that did not happen. However, I'm not too mad about it because I wasn't as interested as I thought I would have been during the press conference. I'm not sure if it had to do with the way they presented it or not, or whether it was as I since I don't have Nintendo or none other Nintendo related games that come out kind of impact me, because I don't think any of them that they showed um were basically coming out to like other consoles and stuff. It was all just Nintendo exclusive games, so it didn't really impact me too much. So my interest wasn't fully there as far as what it would have been for Sony, E3. I mean Sony, EA, Ubisoft, and even Microsoft. So I guess you could say that. Now, going on to actual information that they did give us, they started off with Super Smash Bros. And that one actually looked pretty interesting. I really enjoyed how they did their presentation on that. It was basically two of the directors from Nintendo, basically first off IRL, well, somewhat IRL, fighting it off with their kind of cinematic way, and then it converted into the Super Smash Bros. Version, except instead of like legit Nintendo characters, it was their Mii's. Their Mii's were basically fighting it off, and that looked pretty sick. And then it ended it off with one of the guys, the Asian looking dude, no, not meaning to be racist, but I don't know their names, so I think he's the president of Nintendo. He basically took out this Mario action figure like thing, kind of like this size, and he placed it on his Wii U pad. What was interesting is as soon as he did this, the Mario character actually was transported into the game. And they actually explained this later on, saying that that little Mario action figure, there are going to be tons of those, and these are called Animotos, something like that. Give me a second as I actually look it up, because I did take so many pictures of this, and there's actually a lot. Oh, my bad. I call them Animotos. They actually call it Amiibos. My bad. The Amiibos are all these little Nintendo figures that you can place on your pad that will actually transfer onto Super Smash Bros. And I believe they also said that they're also going to be able to transfer onto many other games in the far future. However, for now, it's just going to be for Super Smash. This is going to be a whole new way of playing, because these little amiibos, they have their own stats. You can level up each one of these things by your own will. So I'm guessing that means their attack is going to be greater, their defense is going to be stronger. I'm not sure. I'm not one to actually play Super Smash that much, but when I have played, I had a lot of fun. So I'm pretty sure this is going to really up the ante on how well this game is going to be. Going further on into things, how I did mention that the two creators, I think the president and maybe the COO or something, when they did face off, they were playing with their Miis, and they were explaining how now that you can play your Miis in Super Smash, that there are going to be 3 different versions of your Miis you can play as. There's the Brawler, your hand-to-hand combat person, your Swordsman, obviously speaks for itself, he carries a sword, and then you also have your Gunner, which also speaks for itself, basically has a weapon. What they made it seem like to be was a kind of like Mega Man-like style cannon hand, and that looked very interesting. They even said that they all have their special moves. I believe it's 12 specials or 12 different style attacks for each class set. So we're talking 36. Yeah, we're talking 36 different attack moves that you can do with these Miis. That was freaking mind-blowing. That was a great way to start it off. Next, what they gave us was the new Zelda game to come out. It seems like with every stream that comes on, something has to go wrong. So my the E3 stream that I was watching kind of cut off a little. Everything went black, so I had to move on to a different stream. As I was mentioning, the new Zelda game. But from what I saw with the trailer and stuff, it does look pretty promising. Going further on into things, they also mentioned the new Yoshi game. It's basically a Yoshi hybrid of Yoshi and Yarn, and this is basically the purpose of it is just to have fun and explore throughout Yoshi Land or Yarn Land, whatever you want to like interpret it as. Whew. Oh, why I'm tired. It's like 1:33 in p.m. So they're basically showing us the gameplay of it. They're showing that it's kind of have that Mario style platform. However, it's not as serious as Mario. It's more just to have fun, just relax, spend time with your friends, because this has a co-op mode. And once again, you can tell that throughout the entire Nintendo conference, their sole focus was to have fun. It wasn't so much be serious, but more to have fun. Next thing I would like to mention is the new Bayonetta game. Bayonetta 2 looks pretty insane. I think this was probably their only real serious game that they had. Once again, it wasn't so much of a cinematic trailer, but more of a gameplay trailer. And I do love the content that they have for Bayonetta. I have played a demo of Bayonetta 1 before. I really enjoyed it, but since I do not have Nintendo and stuff, I didn't really get the chance to play the Bayonetta. So sad face, but you know what? I'm completely fine. I'm completely okay with that. Something else I want to go into. I did mention Zelda before, but now I'm going back to Zelda because there's someone making a Zelda game but not calling it Zelda. It's called Hyrule, something like that. Some weird name. Once again, give me a second. I'm sorry, but my mind is kind of going blank as I think of these names. It is called... Oh, wait, I actually did get it right. It's called Hyrule, Hyrule. Hyrule Warriors, and this is kind of like a mimic to Dynasty Warriors, where it's basically your character facing a army load of enemies with a hint of a boss character somewhere in there, and you're just tearing shit up. The only twist is instead of having your Dynasty Warriors style like characters, you're having your Zelda characters. Basically, you can choose between the for the characters. You have your Link, Zelda, and two others that I'm not familiar. Well, actually, one of them I'm familiar with. It's that kind of wolf chick that, once again, since I've never played Nintendo, I'm not really familiar with these characters, so please do forgive me with my lack of Zelda knowledge or Nintendo knowledge as a whole. So basically you can play as 4 Zelda related characters, and the entire gameplay looked pretty phenomenal. The creators of this game were pretty stoked that they finally got to do something Zelda related. Going further on to things, this game looked pretty interesting. It was one of those games that's not too serious. At the same time, it's got a hint of silliness, funness, and a hint of serious, but not too serious. What it is kind of like a, I guess you could say it's like a painting shooter, a painting third-person shooter kind of game. It sounds pretty weird, but it's a game called Splatoon, and what this is a what seems to be, I believe, either a 6v6 or a 4v4 match where the entire goal is to really mark your territory. Mark as much territory as you can throughout the entire game, and whoever marks as much territory at the end wins. Some of the twist, though, is the kind of way you can travel throughout the game. Basically, the developers were saying that they're kind of inspired by a squid. I'm guessing since squid ink a lot, that's kind of like their way of marking territory, or more defense-wise, but they can kind of mark around the area and stuff. And they kind of use that and turn this idea into the game where your character is a hybrid of a human and a squid. By this, what happens is whenever you mark your territory somewhere with the paint, what you can do is actually travel through the paint in a squid-like mode. And this is actually pretty interesting. I really love the concept of this game. I really wish that this could be played throughout all consoles, because I would have actually loved to get my hands on this. This seems like a pretty good game that you would love to just chill out with your friends, just have a lot of laughs and giggles with everybody, not taking it all too seriously. This game looks to be pretty phenomenal. This game, I'm very excited for all you Nintendo fans as soon as it comes out. I don't really remember. There wasn't really much to be announced, so that's why I can't really say much. So even though this was a 13-minute video, so I'm gonna just end it here. I hope you enjoyed the video. Till next time, this has been your boy Taking Heat, and I'm out. Please let me know how you guys feel about the entire E3 conference that will be going on for the next 3 days, I believe. So, deuces.